I just might have a bit of buyer's remorse. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and this is a video of me wondering if I made a mistake. So a couple weeks ago, well, you guys know, first of all, just to preface this, it's been a really tight budget year for me. So I've had to cut down my spending, which means I'm not buying every omnibus on release days. In fact, I'm almost never buying an omnibus on release day. And there's a lot of books that I've had to miss out on this year. So just off the top of my head, there are a lot of books I was really excited about, but I was like, I just don't have it to pull, can't pull the trigger. Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 was one. The Trial of Captain America by Ed Brubaker is another. The Batman Hush Saga Omnibus, Superior Spider-Man, Immortal Hulk. There are a lot of books that I just wanted to buy, but I just couldn't buy this year. But it's all good. Basically, the way I do it, I keep stuff on my wish list, and as funds become available, you know, I spend some money. Now, I had a bit of a decision to make a few weeks ago because I had some money that I was able to spend for organic price books. I had a gift card. I was like, all right, there's a couple things I can get. One hole that had been in my collection for quite some time was the Uncanny X-Men Volume 5. Another hole is the Trial of Captain America by Ed Brubaker. And I was like, okay, which one would I not mind not having? And the answer is neither. I still want both. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this. The Uncanny X-Men Volume 5, because I didn't want to risk not having the full initial 17-year Chris Claremont run in omnibus format. So I needed this because it has Uncanny X-Men 194 to 209, which previously had only been available in like some Marvel Masterworks and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool. Let me grab this omnibus. I don't want to wait any longer because if I wait too much longer, it's going to be out of print and I'm going to have this gaping hole between my Uncanny X-Men Volume 4 and my Mutant Massacre omnibus. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this. And then 2 days later, I go in my YouTube notifications and I see this.
Coming out in August of 2024, the X-Men Mutant Massacre Prelude Omnibus. This is that era that fills in that gap. If you have Uncanny Volume 4 and you have the Mutant Massacre, this book perfectly fits in between both.
And immediately, I'm like, dang, did I buy the wrong book? Because I could have had a Captain America. So this video is really just a heads up in case you guys are not following like the collected editions like that. You know, basically, Omar did a whole stream breaking this down with Peter from Crushing Comics. I'm going to thumb through my Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 while I talk about it. But basically, Marvel has two distinct routes that you can go at this point to collect the X-Men. You can buy event omnis, or you can buy the individual titles. And so what came out first, we had the Uncanny X-Men Volume 5. I want to say just a few weeks ago, we got an announcement that X Factor Volume 1 was coming in January. X Factor Volume 1 is basically going to contain like the first, 26 issues of X Factor, which is cool, which is very cool. But with them deciding to collect the event omnis, they are also doing a Mutant Massacre Prelude Omnibus, which just so happens to collect everything, and I do mean everything, that you can get inside this X-Men Volume 5 Omnibus, plus a little bit more. So Peter from Crushing Comics actually put together a really cool graphic. I'm going to pull it up here so I can see it. But so the Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 has Uncanny X-Men Uncanny X-Men issues 194 to 209, the X-Men Annual 9 and 10, New Mutant Special Edition, New Mutants Annual number 2, and material from Marvel Fanfare number 33, plus the Nightcrawler and Longshot miniseries 1 through 4 and 1 through 6, respectively. That's all that's in the Uncanny Omnibus Volume 5, which I have in my collection, and I honestly thought that was all we were going to have. So I was like, hey, I'm glad to buy this. But now we're getting the prelude to Mutant Massacre, which has literally everything that I just mentioned above, plus Avengers 263, Fantastic Four 286, X Factor issues 1 through 8, and the first annual, Iron Man Annual 8, Amazing Spider-Man 282, and material from Classic X-Men issue 8 and issue 43. Is all going to be in the Prelude to Mutant Massacre Omnibus. And that is going to lead you right up until the X Factor. Well, excuse me. That's going to take you right up to the Mutant Massacre Omnibus. So in case you decide to grab X Factor, there's a bunch of X Factor issues that you won't be able to get if you don't buy the X Factor Omnibus. Namely, issues 9 through 17 aren't collected anywhere else. And then there is some slight overlap between the first X Factor Omnibus and the X-Men Fall of the Mutants Omnibus. But that's that. So, huge shout out to Peter for that graphic, by the way. But this leads to a question that I have, right? Should you still buy the Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 Omnibus? Should I have just unsealed it for this video? Or should I have just either returned it, which I don't think returns are a thing. Shout out to Organic Price Books where I got this, by the way. Should I have returned it? Should I have traded it in for something else? Should I have sold it on the aftermarket? What should I do? Because here's where I am personally. I had been buying basically every Uncanny X-Men omnibus, but as Uncanny X-Men in the 80s branched out to a bunch of new titles, New Mutants, Excalibur, X Factor, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to just buy every book featuring mutants ever. I'm not going to do that. So I have New Mutants Volume 1 because I really like Bill Sienkiewicz, but I didn't buy Excalibur, and I don't plan to buy the X Factor omnibus. So I do think it'll be worth it for me to upgrade to the Prelude to the Mutant Massacre omnibus. But that means I am severely double dipping. So I probably should get rid of this. But for my collecting habits, that's probably what I'm going to do. But for some people who don't really care about all the different crossover issues, especially since this comes from a time period where you don't have to read every single thing to understand what's going on. You already have the Fall of the Mutants omnibus, the Mutant Massacre omnibus. Then who cares, right? You can keep buying Uncanny X-Men volumes 5, 6, 7, 8, or what have you. I don't know. As far as I know, this fills in the gap all the way up until post Inferno. So everything after Inferno, I guess they're going to collect in other stuff. I don't know where we would get Uncanny volume 6, 7, 8. But I do know those are going to exist. So there's that. But for me, I think if you have not purchased the Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 already, you may want to wait for this Prelude to the Mutant Massacre Omnibus. That seems to be, it's everything that's in here plus more. But if you don't care about that, you can get this omnibus for super cheap. I've seen people selling it for as low as $60, trying to unload it before that one comes out. So, hey, just a heads up, you might want to go ahead and be on the lookout for that as well. But if you do decide to grab either of these, I can tell you this one is in stock because I made JP order a case of them just so I could buy this one. So this is in stock at Organic Price Books. And you can also pre-order the Prelude to the Mutant Massacre Omnibus. It's not quite in the catalog just yet. Give it a couple of weeks, but you can pre-order that at organicpricebooks.com as well. As always, if you use my discount code, you'll save $2 on every order. If you're ordering 4 books or more, you want to place a huge pre-order. That's what I like to do when I have the funds to do so. Then you can use the code BJKicks, ship it together. They'll send all that in one nice hefty package, and you'll get 5% off your total. So very nice. It all adds up. But let me know. What are you going to do? Are you going to upgrade your Uncanny Volume 5? Did you already buy Uncanny Volume 5? Are you mad? I can't lie. I'm a little mad because I could have just filled in my Ed Brubaker Captain America and just kept waiting for the Uncanny 5 or the Mutant Massacre Prelude. Also, one thing I had not experienced yet was the spine switch up. All of my Uncanny X-Men volumes had the old spine. This one has the new spine, and it is a little bit of an eyesore that I won't have when I upgrade to the Mutant Massacre Omnibus. So I'm probably going to get rid of this one because it is completely double dipping. But I also just love this dust jacket cover, so I'm torn in between the two. But if I do get the Mutant Massacre Omnibus, I'm definitely grabbing that color, which also features John Romita Jr. artwork. That's from issue 197 of the Uncanny X-Men. This is issue 200, Trial of Magneto. But anyway, that's all I got for you. Huge shout out to Organic Price Books, which is where I got this book and where you should pre-order either the Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 or the Prelude to Mutant Massacre Omnibus and every other collected edition that you need in your life. Let me know what you decide to do. Huge shout out to Omar and Peter for getting all this information together. I'll see you guys in another video real soon. Till then, read something dope today. Peace.